in person, Hirsi Ali is meek and kind, not mean and angry. And unless you knew her story or she told it to you, there would be no way to tell the absolute evil that was done to her in her life.
The most difficult thing to do as a child was to ask upsetting or critical questions. And there were 4 reasons that it was difficult to ask critical questions. Which I think
as you see there today at the Omni Bayfront Hotel, Ali shared her story of struggle and also contrasted the differences as she sees them between the values of America and the values of the Muslim world where she was raised. Ali suffered the trauma of female genital mutilation at the age of 5. She was raised in a religiously extremist tradition. She received beatings and was forced into an arranged marriage. And when an opportune moment presented itself, she escaped and headed for the West.
Our religion dictated that if I did behave in an appropriate way, the punishment is very severe. So in that context, as a female, you are controlled beyond anything that Westerners can imagine. What you do, what you think, who you associate with.
Ali's advice for women in oppressive situations: don't wallow in victimhood. Instead, look for a window of opportunity like she did and take it. And don't be afraid of the unknown. She took a risk and it did pay off. Coming up at 6, hear what she thinks about the upheaval taking place across the Middle East and Northern Africa. Joe, it's very interesting to hear what she has to say. That's right. Today we went to the Islamic Center of South Texas as local Muslims gathered for Friday prayers. And the imam of the center addressed head-on the controversy over the video and the violence and demonstrations the video has sparked.
This is not a good way to defend the Prophet. We all condemn that in a very strong way. We don't agree with these people who are trying to represent Islam in this way. This is an Islamic way to kill people, to kill the innocent.
As the imam delivered his message, he condemned the video that started this controversy in the first place, but he also said that the actions of Muslims who have committed violence and vandalism overseas must also be condemned. The imam saying that the people who are attacking U.S. embassies and killing innocent people are not good Muslims. We spoke with other Muslims at the center who agreed.
To go after innocent people that have nothing to do with it. They don't understand the system. They don't understand the idea of freedom and the fact that you can say whatever you want to say in the United States or many other countries, European countries, and the government has nothing to do with it.
What we read in the Quran is all about peace, and it's just more you know, every society has got its illiterate elements, and you know, they're more vulnerable in the sense that, you know, they could be manipulated, and I guess that's what's happening over there.
Both the men we spoke with are saying there's nothing in the Muslim religion or in the Quran that justifies killing innocent people, and that no movie, no matter how offensive or outrageous, ever justifies the violence that has erupted in the wake of the video in question. In his message, the imam addressed the Arab Spring, which he called the revolution, and said countries like Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia are still trying to find their way. The imam saying the people committing this violence are trying to stop that process and hurt relations between those countries and the United States. So a strong message of condemnation coming from the imam today. This is an amazing man. 27-year-old Mario Lopez Jr. believes there is a purpose, a plan, and design behind everything, and that things happen for a reason.
When I was in Afghanistan, I would work out constantly. I put on 20 extra pounds. That was my normal weight. You know, 20 pounds on my frame, that's a lot of weight. And when I came out of the hospital, I went in weighing 180. When I came out, I weighed 106. So if I had not had that extra 20 pounds, I wouldn't have survived.
Mario says he's seen and lived so many miracles in his own life that he believes and knows beyond any shadow of a doubt that there is a God. And Mario himself is a living, breathing, walking, talking miracle. Today we caught up with him at the First Baptist Church in Alice, where tonight he'll be sharing his story with others and telling them that miracles are possible. It was August 13th of 2008 that Mario was on a routine mission in Afghanistan when an IED hit his truck, causing it to catch on fire. Mario was wearing a seatbelt, was pinned underneath, and trapped in the flames.
And I got burned 52%, 54% of my body. I got crushed. You know, the IED alone could have killed me, you know, just the blast. And, you know, here I am, and with a sound mind, you know, I'm not on any meds whatsoever. How could I not be on meds? 2 years.
During his recovery process, Mario underwent a procedure to expand his body tissue that ended up having complications and led to internal bleeding. He says he got a bad batch of blood and ended up getting a fever with a temperature of 108, but also somehow miraculously survived that and did not suffer brain damage. Mario was in Afghanistan for 4 months before that bomb went off. And before that, he served a year in Iraq. He believes he survived and is here for a reason, and that reason is to tell others that miracles are possible and God is real. If you're in the Alice area, he'll be sharing his story tonight at 6:30 at the First Baptist Church on East 2nd Street. He hopes it will be the first of many such events at lots of different venues. So one of the most amazing people I've ever met.
Can we get to Alice in 15 minutes? I want to go hear him. That's
Absolutely.
an amazing story.
Very inspiring. A great man of courage and faith.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Miraculous that he survived.
These are photos of 9-year-old Isaac Armstead in the hospital after he survived coming face to face with an airplane propeller.
Anyone who walked into an airplane propeller going full speed and lived to talk about it, I think it's a miracle.
The accident happened August 3rd. Isaac's father, David, a Navy captain stationed out of NIS Kingsville, was in Afghanistan at the time. Back here at home, a family friend had bought a new private airplane and took Isaac out for a flight. On the way back, the unexpected happened.
It was dark. It was really late at night. My son hadn't seen me in 2 weeks, and he's kind of a, you know, little mommy's boy.
I wasn't thinking because I really wanted to see her, and the propeller was spinning so fast I couldn't see it, and so I walked into it, and it hit my face.
Instead of going around the back of the plane, he went to the front of the plane, and the prop was still going. You can't see the prop, and he just ran right into it.
Isaac put his hand up to block his face from getting hit again. That's when the propeller took Isaac's hand. Isaac then put up his arm for protection. Isaac showed us his scars.
All I remember is getting flown a few feet away from the propeller because the propeller cut me up, so I flew back a few feet.
Isaac says he then remembers the pilot scooping him up and bringing him to the car to head to the hospital.
He grabbed a string from his flight suit and he tied it around my hand and pulled it so the blood would stop coming out. And if he hadn't have done that, the blood would have kept on coming out and I would have died.
The pilot's wife also helping out.
She was holding a Bible, a King James Bible, over my eye because it was bleeding pretty bad.
Isaac and his mom credit their faith in God for helping them to persevere through this difficult time. The journey back isn't an easy one. Through these rehabilitation exercises at Driscoll Children's Hospital, Isaac is making tremendous progress, even learning how to play video games with one hand, his left hand. Pretty impressive since Isaac was born right-handed. Isaac says family and friends have tried to help him find meaning in the situation by helping him to try and understand why this accident may have happened. Maybe it's to show others that miracles are possible. Mike Da Silva, 3 News.
Doing a scar massage? Yeah, when I put the vitamin E oil on him, I massage a little bit while that's on.